Aw, they're playing Follow the Leader. Oh. In the previous devlog, my game looked like this. Some happy cartoon fish in a saltwater ocean. It's nice and all, but I want it to be more cohesive. In order to do that, I found a fish pack online made by Kenny. He makes all kinds of great stuff for free, and this one is perfect for this project. I added those assets, and now here's the new tank. Cute little fish in a simple tank with a consistent art style. And as you can see, 2 new fish types. So up until now, most of the fish variables have been built into the fish controller script, which is just messy. So I migrated them over to the fish data scriptable object that the fish prefabs are pulling their data from, and then I deleted those variables from the fish controller script and just referenced the fish data script in the appropriate locations. One of the benefits of using scriptable objects is being able to easily change the values of the individual fish. As you can see here, I'm changing their cost to buy. I added new buttons for the new fish so you can actually purchase them. The blue fish costs 100 and the red one costs 200. I edited their values so they live longer than regular fish. I finally got source control set up next and pushed all my changes using GitHub Desktop so I don't lose any progress if something goes wrong. Next, I finally gave the coins a new texture. They are also made by Kenny and they look infinitely better than they did before. Also, the red fish start by dropping silver coins, unlike the others that start with bronze, and they are the only ones to drop gold coins as an adult. I still have this bug though, where sometimes it looks like a fish drops many coins, but in reality it's just a bunch of fish taking up the same space because they were all targeting the same pellet. Speaking of pellets, I added a new texture for those too. I also had it instantiate with a random rotation so it doesn't look like the same exact pellet every time. I then noticed that I could go into debt, so I fixed that. And now no matter how much I want to, I can't spawn pellets without enough money. After that, I saw that the fish were pushing around the coins on the bottom of the tank, which I didn't want. So here's a cool tip. If you go to Edit, Project Settings, 2D Physics, and scroll to the bottom, you'll see this layer collision matrix where you can choose which layers can collide with each other. I just checked the box so fish and coins can't collide, and voila! Problem solved. This next part is pretty sad, but if you let your fish starve to death, they turn into bones and sink to the bottom. And yes, it's too late to feed them now. After that, I added some physical walls and a ceiling so the fish would stop going out of bounds. The biggest problem I ran into with this is when I buy a new fish, they get stuck on the top of the tank and bounce around. Luckily, there was a simple solution that I learned about. First, I found the right box collider, then added a platform effector 2D component, set the collider to be used by the effector, and turned the effector 180 degrees, and bam, one-way platform. Now, you may have noticed the extra buttons. I made some new fish, so now I'm setting the data for each prefab. Now I can buy them all. The green and pink fish are currently the same as the orange fish, but I like the variety. Now this is beginning to take shape and look like a real game. I like it. But alas, all my fish are dead now. I'll do something with these bones eventually, but for now, they just pile up on the floor. I wanted to add a simple death animation with tweening, and this is the result. Not perfect, but you get the idea. Also, they don't turn into bones immediately anymore, just when they hit the ground. I went ahead and pushed my changes again. Can't be too cautious. After that, I made this cool editor script that accesses the fish data, so now I can easily see and edit every fish easily in one location. As you can see, all their variables are accessible and modifiable. So if I change the pink fish's speed, as well as its drop rate, and then I change its drops to gold, when I buy him, look, he's very speedy and gives me lots of money. So here's a problem I've had for a while. Currently, the coins despawn after 2 seconds when they hit the ground. So if you get too many fish, it can be a real challenge to collect them all and keep your fish alive. So what can we do to solve this? How about a helper or a pet? And what better pet for the job than a shrimp? So I added that next. Well, sort of. I couldn't find a good placeholder image for a shrimp, but check it out. He moves to the lowest coin, and when it collides with him, it gets added to my total coin count. I attempted to draw a temporary shrimp in Aspirite by doing this awful technique where I switched back and forth between my reference image and drawing, but I couldn't get that to work out. So I left it as a white box for now. Look how happy he is. Also, I had my wife play and she said the coins were too hard to click without accidentally dropping a food pellet, so I made them bigger. But this was too big, so I made them smaller. This felt just right for what I'm going for. Also look, if you notice, I made the shrimp prioritize coins of a higher value, so he'll go for a silver coin even when a bronze coin is lower. He isn't perfect, but he tries to be. Next I added something that I've been excited to add since the beginning. Carnivorous fish. As you can see, there is now a carnivore boolean in the fish data, as well as a food value variable, which is how filling the fish is to a carnivore. So now when a red fish gets hungry, he does not target pellets, but instead he targets guppies. Guppies are just baby fish. They won't target adult fish. You must be careful because they'll eat any baby fish, though the pink ones are harder to catch. Back to the shrimp for a minute. While it's very cool to see this white box collect the coins for me, it's not very thematic. So I finally did something about it. You see him down there? He's no shrimp, but it's better than a white box. This little eel will hold the place of the shrimp for now, and to make him feel a little bit more like a shrimp, I even colored him red. Much nicer. I'll probably work on how the shrimp targets coins in the future, but for now, this works just fine. Well guys, that does it for devlog number 2. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe for more game dev content. Until next time.